Okay, here's another little informational video of what dry flange is. When a mechanic says your dry flange is worn, you might just think you can tighten the front wheel bearing up on your front wheel drive car and it'll take the slack out of your bearing, but it may. but that's not the reason that things are moving. So also this is a sometimes when you're braking, this indication this is happening, your dry flange is getting worn, is every now and then you'll get this funny creaking sound when you brake. It's normally when the car gets a bit warmer and the bearing gets a bit warmer and the steel surfaces get a bit warmer. You get a bit of a creaky sound. Sometimes it can take people a long time to figure that out, what it actually is. But anyway, this is the thing, right? So I'll turn the camera around and this, I'll show you, hopefully, will be your dry flange. This is your dry flange here. Now that's a new one, obviously. Now that's the piece where your wheel goes on, and your CV joint the axle comes through here. Well, CV joint shaft comes through that little hole. This goes through the wheel bearing. Okay, so if I was to point to that. Okay. That's the wheel bearing, that there, and that there. That there is dry flange. That presses through that bearing. Okay, now here's the old bearing. I'll flip it upside down, just indication. There's the old race, we didn't bother taking that off because we put a new dry flange in. Let's see, this surface here is part of that dry flange, and that wears over time. You can see it's actually quite rusty and worn. Now it should be a press fit into the bearing. Now this old bearing here, that surface there, that's still, you know, thereabouts the right size that the bearing should be. But this, I can just drop it over. See that? Loose as a goose. That should be a nice snug press fit. Now that there is what the creaking sound is. It's these surfaces rubbing and making metallic noises. So when a mechanic says your dry flange is worn, that is a dry flange. And generally, you've got to buy those, they're dealer only. So you normally can't get them through places like your aftermarket parts places. You could probably buy second hand, but then chances are the second hand ones, you know, I mean, this is second hand. So what's to say the one you're pulling off the car that is in a wrecker's yard is not going to be like this or needed like this. So that's the kind of thing you have to suck up and just buy a brand new one, press the old bearing out and the old dry flange, press the new bearing and a new dry flange in, and away you go. Cheers for listening.